space, reality. It's more than a linear path. It's a prism of endless possibility, where a single choice can branch out into infinite realities, creating alternate worlds from the ones you know. I am the Watcher. I am your guide through these vast new realities. Follow me and ponder the question, what if?
Ladies and gentlemen, we are the Rum Regret podcast. I am Andy Drake.
Johanna Myers.
Nate Tessie, and we drink and we know things.
And tonight, we will be talking about Marvel's What If. We will be very spoiler heavy, so if you haven't seen anything and don't want to know what happens, please close out now. Turn off. But, yeah, very excited to talk What If with you guys. But first, let's go and see if we have anything for our segments. Joe, what's happening in the horror corner?
So I watched the first couple episodes of American Horror Story double feature.
Yes.
Which is shaping up to be a pretty interesting season.
Yeah, I watched it too. I loved it so far.
It's Shining-ish.
Very yeah,
Shining-ish.
Well, and very almost Shining-ish, but also Misery as well. A little like shades of Misery in there.
Yeah.
Town to get to get your inspiration and everything. And yeah.
I'm excited to see how they tie it into Aliens in the next the back half of the double feature.
Right. Yeah. But no, yes. So far, so good. I loved Evan Peters' introduction.
Yeah,
the karaoke. That was
so great. Captain Tennille.
Nate, do you watch these at all?
American Horror Story?
Yeah.
No, I haven't watched any of it at all.
Okay.
I'm along for the ride at this point.
Okay, Joe, did you get to watch any of the American Horror Stories?
I watched the first two, the Rubber Woman.
Yes,
I stopped after that one because that was so good.
Yeah, so dude, this is a who's who of like celebrity offspring. So
okay, you tell, because I didn't pick up on any of it, like who was in it.
All right, so the blonde girl, who is the head of the group that harasses the redhead, is Paris Jackson.
Oh, okay,
daughter of
Michael Jackson.
Daughter of Michael Jackson. The redhead's girlfriend, the ghost, with the dark hair, is Cindy Crawford's daughter.
I can totally see that.
Oh yeah,
my God, she looks just like her.
Right. Yeah. And I won't spoil it because the later episodes there's some more in there. So and then the last one, again, like a good Lebowski rug, sort of ties the room together a little bit. With the Murder House story, which is really good. Yeah. But yeah, we watched the other one. If you want in for a really, really weird, there's, I think it's episode 4. It's called Feral.
Yeah.
And that, like, when the credits rolled on that one, Jamie and I just looked at each other and were just like, what the fuck was that? So yeah, I love sort of the anthology, nature of American Horror Stories, and it's good. I think this is a format that can serve the franchise well, and I heard that it already got picked up for a second season.
Nice.
So, yeah. Anything else?
Yeah, a couple of movies I watched over the last couple of weeks.
Okay.
One good one I'm not sure yet. The other
Okay.
one is The Old Ways. It's on, both of these are on Netflix.
Okay.
The Old Ways is kind of a Mexican possession story. Girl goes
Okay.
to Mexico to do she's a reporter and to do a story, and wakes up in the middle of a room chained to the wall, just like, what the fuck?
Ooh.
And old Bruja comes in and is like, you got something in you, and we're gonna get it
Right.
out.
Oh wow.
So it was pretty good.
Okay.
And then the second one is a classic horror story, I think it's called. Yeah,
Okay.
a classic horror story. And that's the old tried and true, people break down in the middle of Europe and chaos ensues.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Yeah, that one, it's got a pretty major twist at the end that I'm not sure I quite get. And I'm like, kind of just like, that was interesting, but kind of stupid.
Okay. Okay. All right.
So
okay. Yeah.
it starts off like really strong, where it starts off like Midsummer vibes, and then just kind of takes a hard right, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck just happened? And I don't know if I like it.
Right. Yeah.
But I leave it to you guys to judge.
Okay. When you get a chance, I want you to watch Spontaneous. Again, it's not a large commitment. It's on Netflix. It's and it doesn't it doesn't make you wait around for sort of what's happening in the storyline. But it follows a girl who's in high school, and there is a epidemic at the high school that causes students to spontaneously combust.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Okay, I'm in.
Is this from global warming or what?
No. And so the girl who leads the movie, and I forgot her name, the actress's name, just totally kills it. She's like really, really great. As just as sort of the lead, and the story's not necessarily from her eyes, but it's from, everything sort of focuses around her and sort of her experience through this. So if you get a chance, like I said, it's not a big commitment. And you've been so great about watching the other shows I've been sending your way. This is only an hour 40 of your time. So,
yeah.
What is it called? I might have to check this out too.
It's called Spontaneous. It's on Netflix. Right. Yeah. And like I said, it's the ending. I'll let you guys watch it, and and we can discuss. I think the ending could have been better, but I see where they went with it. So,
Catherine
but it's
and Charlie Plummer. It looks like it. Huh? Catherine Langford is Mara. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So, but yeah, check it out. It's pretty good. It's a black. Yeah, it's like a black comedy. It's dark, and but like I said, the main girl just kills it. She's really good.
Nice. That's cool. List.
Yeah. Anything else, Joe?
That's all for today. I really want to go see Candyman. I really wish they had it available for streaming, because I've heard it's fucking fantastic.
Yeah. I've seen
a friend of mine going to see it tonight, actually.
Oh, really?
They tried to get me to go, and I went, nope, got plans, but thank you. Even that's not really my style, but
right, yeah.
The original ones were fun.
I'm gonna have to venture out to the theater for that one, I guess.
Yeah, now that if we're talking horror stuff, I mean, wasn't Michael K. Williams in Lovecraft Country?
Yes, he was.
Throw out an RIP for him. I can't believe he passed. He's just a force of nature as an actor and everything I've ever seen him in. And if they're thinking drug overdose potentially, but
that's sad.
Yeah, way too young. I think he was 54 or something like that.
54, yeah.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah. That's awful. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
But
he
made his mark for sure, so.
No, absolutely. Yeah, that's sad.
I never watched The Wire. That's where he got his start. Did you guys ever watch The Wire?
No, I never watched it either. Everybody loves that show too.
I know everyone I talk to says it's like Sopranos level amazing or better.
Right.
Yeah. I'm probably going to have to go back and watch it now just because of that.
Yeah.
Good stuff. I have nothing for the horror corner. The big shock.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm still recovering from brandy cherry flavor. So.
Right.
Yeah.
We tossed you a curveball on that one.
That
we
one
need to earn our credit back.
Stomped my horror corner.
Need to earn our credit back with Nate on that. On the.
No, I mean, honestly, I loved it. It was just like, well, I can't unsee that.
Yeah.
Oh, the old kitten hole.
Why does my side meat look like apple pie?
All right. Wait for it. All right.
That's funny.
Yeah. So my streaming selection of the week is Clickbait on Netflix. Yeah. Dude, it is such a good watch. And it's great. There's no real like big star power in it either. It's Adrian Grenier is the guy that's sort of
from Entourage.
Sort of loosely,
Nice.
Loosely sort of centers around his story, but it's really cool. I love the way that they did it. It's best way to describe it is it's a whodunit, and every episode, gives you just a little more sort of nuggets towards the answer of what happened and what really happened, and it really takes you down a Lombard street of,
nice.
like really, like just sort of twists and turns. And speaking of Lombard Street, this is based in Oakland and the Bay Area.
Oh shit! So, I gotta watch it now.
Yeah, so there's a lot of it was filmed in Canada at some points, but then they came back and filmed some stuff on location because when they started, it was like they said Oakland. I'm like, no, this can't be our Oakland. And then it was that first picture, I think, or one of those first like real grand shots of when they're looking for him, and you see the docks in the background and the big white dock arms. I'm like, yes, I'm like, that's our Oakland. Like I stood up and said it. Like that's our Oakland. So,
oh my God.
And then they go up to Sacramento for some stuff in some episodes as well. So, but it is a really cool, and it's one of those shows where you really don't know what's going on until like a little bit right before it comes up, because there's one really major like twist towards the end where like I called it, but I called it right before it came out on the show. So like at that point, they're obviously leading you to a spot where,
right,
you're going to get there. And it's like, okay, so I can't really take credit for guessing it if they're going to tell us in the next 5 minutes. But it is a quick, I think I want to say 8 episodes, but it focuses on, each episode focuses on one person's sort of journey through this process, through this sort of mystery. And it is just, I think it was a really well-written show, and just really sort of just the storytelling I thought was fantastic. So if you're looking for a new show to watch Clickbait. It's really good. Joe, what did you think of Clickbait?
I ripped through it in one night.
Really? Okay, really, I better watch this then.
My husband was working, and so I was just like, oh, I can sit and watch TV and relax. And I was like, oh, let me see this Clickbait Andy keeps talking about. And like from the first episode, I was just like glued to the couch and just like, oh my God. Okay, Next. I gotta find out what happens.
How many episodes and how long are they?
It's 8 episodes, and I think they're 45-minute episodes.
Damn.
Yeah, they're like TV hour longs, but we put all of our other shows on hold.
Nice.
as soon as I came out, it's like Jamie's like, "What do we want to watch tonight?" She's like, Clickbait. Clickbait. All right, okay, we're doing it.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I agree that the story is so well done, and the acting is phenomenal. And I love that there really isn't any big names in it, because you just like get sucked into the characters.
Yeah. And I love too that there's no, like, usually in these types of in these types of shows, there is sort of like the do-gooder, like, you know, like all-American sort of Johnny whatever. That's like the voice of reason through the whole process. And there isn't one here. Like, everybody's flawed and everybody has their issues and everybody has their problems. And I think it was really good that there's no one who, like, you're looking at in this is like, at the point you're like, well, who's gonna figure this out?
Yeah.
Like, who's gonna be the one to put this all together? Because everyone's sort of dealing with their own crap, that it just doesn't look like that they, you know, that this is, it was really good.
It's nobody's squeaky clean, and it could be anybody.
Right. Exactly.
And it goes through, like, you know, you suspect everybody at some point.
Right.
Like,
exactly.
You?
Yeah.
Is it you? Did you do it?
Yeah.
Which one of you fuckers did this?
Yeah. And I thought the payoff in the end was such a clever twist. I didn't see it coming. And
no.
And my wife usually gets these stuff, but no, she didn't see it coming either. So I thought it was, I thought it was cool. Nate, if you get a chance, watch this and we can chat about it. And I want to see what you think about it. So
I have nothing but time. It's like I have the time stone or something.
Oh man. Oh man. Do I have anything else? Thought I had something else. I'm just gonna stick with clickbait, and I'll save what else for later. So, with that, we can go.
I do have a little bit of Marvel Minute real quick though.
Okay, well that's how I was getting it. I was getting us there.
Oh, sorry.
Okay,
continue then, please. We gotta work on our harmonies. That'd be hilarious.
All right.
So Marvel Minute. A lot of stuff happened in the last couple weeks. First thing, I can't believe it's been a year already. Chadwick Boseman died on the 28th of August last year, which is obviously completely sudden. He had done all the end of his Marvel stuff with cancer, basically, and was on his way out. But it's been a year already, which is nuts. So there was a lot of stuff all over, especially with the second episode of What If at the end, in memoriam, and then all over social media, kind of just celebrating his life and everyone kind of regretting what happened with him, honoring him and that kind of thing. So that was big from the last couple weeks. What else? So Marvel also announced a new game with developers Firaxis and 2K. Firaxis does the XCOM series.
Right.
Called Marvel Midnight Suns, which looks fucking amazing. It's like it's a turn-based strategy, but with cards to kind of throw in curveballs, but it has like a specific cast of characters, but it spans pretty much everything. So it's like Doctor Strange and Magic and Wolverine and Blade and like all of these different kind of darker characters. Captain Marvel's in it too. And then you get to play as this new character called the Huntress or the Hunter, I forget, one of the two, and kind of customize this person. So you're playing with a cast of Marvel characters, but then you have your own kind of person to put in it.
Oh, that's cool.
And it looks really cool. Just the aesthetic is great.
I saw the teaser for this. I saw the teaser for it, and it looks good. And I mean, you guys know how much I love the XCOM series.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to see how this. I'm interested to see how superheroes with superpowers sort of transfers into the XCOM sort of palette, if that's the best way to put it. But I mean, I don't know. I'm sure. Like I said, I'm sure that they'll do a fantastic job in this. I'm excited for it. I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the biggest challenges for any studio when you're talking about superheroes and heroes as strong as like Captain Marvel or Superman. Like, what do you do with that? Because they can literally do anything and are completely invulnerable, kick everybody's ass. How do you make that work in a game? So, it'll be interesting to see how that goes.
Yeah.
So shortly after that announcement, they also announced that they had another casting for She-Hulk, which is a series coming out on Disney Plus in January of 2022, which will be really cool. They confirmed Mark Ruffalo's in it. They confirmed that the Abomination's in it. Several other things. It looks really fun. I'm excited to see how. I never was a big fan of the comic book, but apparently she's another like super smarmy, smart lawyer, quippy, but also breaks the fourth wall, kind of like Deadpool, but not obviously not as like Deadpool. So I'm interested to see how they actually get that to work in the Disney Plus show. So that should be fun. Let's see, what else did we have last? Last Friday, Shang-Chi opened and blew everyone's mind that saw it, basically. His amazingly high scores on Rotten Tomatoes and broke all the records for Labor Day weekend. I think it did $140 million worldwide over the weekend. And that's not just pandemic levels, that's everything. So it'll be really interesting to see what happens. Yeah. Hopefully you don't see the same kind of fall off that you did with Black Widow, but they didn't release it on Disney Plus, so you probably won't. I'm sure it would have made so much more money if we weren't in a pandemic, obviously, because there are a lot of people who are very concerned about theaters.
I think it would have. Yeah.
But I tweeted about it and basically it was like, this is like Black Panther for the Chinese and Asian community as far as the amount of culture and the way that it pays homage to all of those kind of staples of the culture, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. Guardians of the Galaxy is the only parallel I can draw to how vivid the palette is in the movie. It's just, sometimes it's distracting that it's so beautiful. You're like, holy shit, look over there. What's that? And Guardians, I think, had that in certain points. So I love it. I can't wait to see it again. I'm actually taking Addie to see it tomorrow after school. So,
okay. Did you ever see?
She's grounded, so nobody listens to this anyway. It's okay.
Well, we won't release till Friday. So at that point,
it's already asked for forgiveness and not permission.
Right. Yeah. Did you ever see Hero with Jet Li?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, compare palette wise to that.
Sure. Well, Hero wasn't as bright as this for sure. I mean, think about how far CGI and effects have come.
Sure.
The action sequences in this remind you of kind of an entire just rainbow of different martial arts movies. Like, there's homage to Jackie Chan in several different parts of this movie. Some of the fight scenes remind you of like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, or Cloud of Daggers, that kind of stuff. Super kind of whimsical, crazy stuff. But then there's also some really good close up, like Jet Li super fast type movements. And Simu Liu is just fucking amazing as the lead. He's, like I said this before, where people were talking about it before I'd actually seen the movie, where he's kind of really outgoing and gregarious and kind of reminds you of how Robert Downey Jr. was in Iron Man 1. So there's a little bit of a parallel there. And the supporting cast is amazing. The main villain is actually almost like a second lead. His father, who plays the Mandarin, is absolutely amazing too. But the thing that was really surprising was how funny Awkwafina was in this. So I've only seen her. She's like a singer, right? She was a rapper and like a personality, right?
Well, no. So she's a singer, but I mean, the last 7 years she's been acting pretty much full time. She was in the second,
Crazy Rich Asians and a bunch of.
But
other
no,
stuff
she was in this. She was in the second Jumanji as well.
Oh, I never saw those.
Oh, dude, you are missing out.
This is the one with like The Rock and stuff.
Dude, Jack Black is on another level in these movies. Like, he's sort of tapered off a little bit, like recently, but no, he is like as good as he has been in these movies. Kevin Hart and The Rock play really well off of each other in these.
Sure.
Karen Gillan is Karen Gillan. She can do no wrong in my eyes.
Yeah.
I love,
especially when she's in a half shirt and short shorts.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Oh, really?
Yes. And so, but the premise of Jumanji is that basically, like, The Rock and Kevin Hart and Jack Black are avatars of the main actors in the movie, right? or the kids who find the video game. Okay, so at one point, and for the second movie, Danny Glover and Danny DeVito get avatars in the game, and initially they're played by The Rock and Kevin Hart, right? But there's one point where Danny DeVito's essence gets put into Aquafina.
Oh, Jesus.
And she does like a dead-on Danny DeVito impression.
No way. Yeah.
And it is fantastic. She was also the voice of the Last Dragon in Raya and the Last Dragon.
Right. Yes, she was.
Okay.
She was. You're
so
right.
Anyway, she has done a lot of work, and she's fantastic in what she does. So
yeah, 100%. Yeah. The reason I brought it up is I was kind of shocked at how much she's in the movie. Sure. I thought she was going to be kind of a bit character or whatever, but she's in the movie for most of it, which is kind of shocking. Yeah. But no spoilers there. But anyway, so it's a beautiful movie. If you can brave the theater for anything, God, go see it in the theater. It's so good.
Okay.
It'll be great at home, but obviously something with that scope is
sure.
It's like seeing Top Gun in the theater versus Top Gun at home kind of stuff.
Yeah. Which I'll never see Top Gun 2 in the theater.
Yeah, push back until next year. And Tom Cruise is not getting fucked with. He said, "I'm not dealing with ScarJo bullshit. We're pushing that and Mission Impossible because I'm going to get my fucking money out of these movies."
Right. Yeah.
So we'll see what happens there. Let's see. So then we had the fourth episode of What If with Doctor Strange, which we'll talk about here in a minute. What else? Marvel Sony is moving up Carnage to October 1st. Apparently they're going to try and get some of this Shang-Chi money, hopefully.
Sure.
People are okay going to the theater, maybe. So they moved it up a couple weeks. So we're going to get Woody Harrelson as Carnage on October 1st, which I'm honestly was very skeptical about. But now, after seeing some behind-the-scenes stuff, we know he plays a good serial killer already, but
right, yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. I'm not expecting a whole lot, but we'll see how it goes. It'll look cool at least. What else? I think that's it really for the what did I miss? Oh, Sony's having what is it? It's not the PlayStation Expo. Maybe it is. Coming up this week, I think, and they're supposed to talk about potentially Spider-Man in the Marvel Avengers game, which is, basically Dead Men Walking, but that's also Marvel related, so we got to talk about it.
Oh, sure.
And then tomorrow, even though this thing is going to release on Friday, we get episode 5 of What If, which is
is this? Oh, this is the Marvel Zombies one. Okay.
It is. Yeah, they confirmed it yesterday.
Oh, good.
So
all right.
I'm super excited to see that.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'm excited to see that one as well.
Yeah. Well, that's it for the horror corner. No. Jesus, my brain does not work today. Sorry.
The Marvel 10 minutes.
That's it for the
Marvel 10 minutes.
That's the Marvel foreplay, and now we can get to the main chiggy chiggy boom boom.
Yeah. So if you're not watching it, you're gonna get spoiled here in a second. But yeah, Marvel's What If is an animated series on Disney Plus that is basically it goes off of what Loki did to the multiverse, and branches off and basically turns everything on from what we know into craziness. And we talked a little bit about the first episode last week, which so far I think has been the weakest episode of all.
What? Really?
The first episode?
Oh, the first one. I thought you said Doctor Strange, the most recent one. Like, oh my God.
No. I'm saying that we talked about the Captain Carter episode a little bit last week.
I wouldn't think that any of them are weak, but it definitely has the most issues as far as pacing and story and that kind of thing.
Yeah. But we didn't get into it because Joe hadn't seen it. Joe's all caught up, right?
Yep.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah. And obviously we didn't want to spoil anything with the second episode because we know that Guardians is sort of your jam. So
that was such a good episode.
Such a good episode.
Yeah, that one and obviously the Doctor Strange one are my two favorites.
Yeah.
And I would agree the Captain Carter one is the lesser of the four.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So I guess let's just talk about it here. So the first episode is called "What If Captain Carter Were the First Avenger?" And then the one sentence is, "When Steve Rogers is seriously injured, Peggy Carter becomes the world's first super soldier." So I love this. It is kind of a shot for shot, push you through the first Avenger movie as fast as possible to get to the end kind of thing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that isn't explained right. The pacing was off. It needed like at least double. It would have been nice if that first episode was maybe an hour. They probably could have gotten away with 45 minutes, but the pacing was the worst in that episode.
Yeah, I think you could have put 10 minutes in just to explain some stuff, and it would have been a fantastic episode.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, the visuals of Captain Carter just wrecking shop, like Addie was flipping out. Yeah. Like when that truck's trying to drive her down, and she just pushes it over her head, and she's getting all awesome with it. There's a great montage at the end after they introduce Steve Rogers in the Hydra Buster, where he's flying with her on his back, and then she basically goes through like a bomber shield first, kicking everybody's ass as she runs through the bomber, goes out the top, jumps off the end, hits a fighter plane right in the propeller, sheds the propeller, smashes the canopy, and then jumps off free falling, and then the Hydra Buster comes in underneath her and she flies off. Like, Jesus, that was fucking cool. I'm sorry. The episode had issues, but those parts were fucking amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't, and I said this last week, I didn't like how the Hydra Buster just sort of appeared.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Like it was just...
Rewatching it today, there was like a 2-second shot of Howard Stark like welding something. We're going to be back in the fight, boys, and that was it. It really didn't explain anything with that at all.
Yeah, and I just, like I said, I love the original Iron Man, how that initial, like the Iron Man 1.0 suit was built out of necessity, like it was the only stuff that he had there and could only do it. And for Howard Stark to make something looking so much like that without any sort of it just seemed weird and out of place. That's all.
Yeah,
it just really did for me. So
yeah, they didn't give it enough reason to be there for it to make sense.
Right. Exactly. Yeah,
for sure. It would have been cool if maybe he had been talking about that earlier in the episode. Like, I've got this thing I've been working on, but I can't figure out how to power it, whatever. Well, and then, here comes the Tesseract. Oh, perfect.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean,
a few minor modifications.
Like you could have even while and I know like shit was going crazy while Captain Carter had to go into the little thing to get the shots and everything, but like you could have just done a one-off thing, like if this like someone go up to Howard, like if this fails, what about our backup?
Right.
Like it could have been that simple, mm-hmm. and even then I would have, and like you cut to like literally a sketch of the suit, and and like that could have been it. So anyway,
yep, 100%.
That was and I mean there are other moments like that for me in some of the other episodes that I'll bring up when we get there. But
for sure, I like the way they tied it at the end, where she sacrifices herself to push the Shimagoroth or whatever the tentacle beast is back through the portal, and then it cuts to the beginning of the Avengers movie where the Tesseract activates, shoots out, and then it's her, and then Fury and Hawkeye right there. Like, ma'am, please drop the sword.
Yeah.
Good stuff. I liked it. If you watch it, the more you watch it, the better it is. But the pacing is still an issue. They're never gonna regardless of how much I love Marvel and whatever. It has major pacing issues, and I definitely can call it out if I see it. So
yeah.
Joe, do you have any thoughts on that one?
I think you guys pretty much nailed it.
Okay.
Right on. Well, why don't you lead off on the second one? I'm going to beer myself. I'll be right back.
Yeah, so the second one is what if Black Panther is Star-Lord?
Yeah.
And it's so good. And it's funny because they're like good guys. His like goodness makes everybody, all the Ravagers are like good little helpers.
That was like the really like fun part of this episode is that I don't mean to say it like this, but this is going to come out completely and totally wrong and way screwed up, but it makes you...
It's a lot of preamble.
But it makes you realize sort of how crappy Peter Quill is as Star-Lord.
Right.
For
dysfunctional family leads to dysfunction. Shocker.
Right. Yeah, for stuff to be so different. And I just, that whole part of it was I mean, this is a pretty huge what if.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing was Yondu was still Yondu, but he was just a good guy.
Right. Yeah.
Like, he was still had all the scrappy Yonduisms and whatnot, but it was just he was doing the right thing instead of being, a selfish Ravager.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if he can argue Thanos out of his genocide plan, then he's doing a pretty good job.
That was such a trip. Them in the bar, I'm like, oh my god, you're sitting there in a bar just like rapping with Thanos. What the hell?
I know.
And I liked at the beginning where it's freaking, oh god, what's the name of the character? At the very beginning where he's like, who are you? When he's trying to steal the Power Stone from Morag. And instead of him being like, who? He's like, this is Star-Lord. Oh my god, you guys, should we be kneeling? We should be kneeling.
Yeah.
And then he becomes one of the Ravagers. That was a great twist.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I kept waiting for Gamora to show up though.
Yeah, I think she's supposed to show up later. We've seen images of her in Thanos' armor with his sword, so maybe she's a baddie.
Well, because Nebula is a good goodie, so...
Yeah, she is. Hi, Jessica Rabbit with blonde hair. Holy hell.
I know, right? Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
In the comics, Nebula has black hair, and she kicks Thanos' ass and gets the Infinity Stones, but I'm digging what they did with her in What If.
Yeah, and when she keeps calling him, what is it, Cha-Cha or something like that?
Yeah, right. Cha-Cha, for sure. It's short for T'Challa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cha-Cha.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Oh, yeah. But this episode was, I mean, it was so much fun. And yeah, the throwaway lines with Thanos was, it's still genocide.
Yeah, right.
That was so great. And then I did wish there was sort of more explanation with the Collector's weapon collection, like how he got most of that stuff.
Oh, those people are dead, apparently. Like, how are you're not going to get Thor's hammer or Cap's shield or Hela's helmet without them being toasty?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Although, but it would have, I mean, like, it would have been fun to see them collected.
Yeah. Agreed. Yep.
Instead of just sort of their stuff,
right.
Just displayed.
Yeah.
I did like that version of the Collector a lot better than what we got in the movies, actually.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
It was very cool. And then I love the Howard the Duck cameo.
I was going to say, we finally got our Howard the Duck payoff.
Dude,
that was great. Well, even just the little mannerisms when T'Challa's getting frustrated, he's like, screw it, shoots the hinges, but then you hear a quack, like, right as he shoots it.
Yep.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh, it's so good.
But hang a Louie at the Frost Giants and a Roger at the Elvish Strips. Like.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, no, I love the underlying difference of just having that one person change and just the change that it makes is I just thought it was so good. It was just written. Yeah, like I said, this was really, really fun to watch.
Yeah, who knew we'd get Taserface again?
Yes.
So great. We were watching that episode and he showed up at the beginning. I'm like, yes, Taserface. That was so good.
Oh God. We were watching Guardians 2 the other day and just the bit with his name. I love that so much.
Yeah, and
so
Rocket
much.
Just dying. Oh my God. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
I like all the callbacks that all of these... See, I think this is one of the reasons why I love this series so much. Because it's basically just a giant callback vehicle for all of the Marvel stuff that's happened before. So I love that the Black Order is in it, but they're now serving, the Collector, who's now the crime lord of the universe kind of thing. They did those characters were done really well. with the exception of some of the power creep. But what else? I really loved how they kind of tied in the whole T'Challa had his necklace still from when he was a boy, and then he goes into the whole museum that has all the different ships, and then the Wakandan starship kind of activates for him. That's how he finds out that Wakanda's still around and his family's still alive, kind of thing.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Done really well.
Yeah,
and then the meeting of the Ravagers and the Wakandans, that was dope.
It was so good.
Yeah, that whole scene they're talking about, all the Ravagers are kind of rapping to some of the Wakandan ladies. Well, he's kind of like my best friend.
Right. So much fun. Yeah, right. That was a really good episode.
They did a good job with getting back as many voices as they could, like especially the ones that, like Josh Brolin for Thanos or Kurt Russell for Ego, like just the ones that they weren't in it a whole lot, but it carried a lot of weight just to have them in there. And obviously,
it absolutely did, and it doesn't. Sometimes when the voices are off from what it does take you out of it a little bit.
For sure, especially since you're expecting the real voice to be there. I mean, this is the last thing that he did. Chadwick Boseman actually did.
Yeah, but
he's in several episodes of this.
But but Brolin playing this version of Thanos, it was so great and so weird at the same time. Yeah. But just 100%. So cool. And this story especially was, like I said, just a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. You guys have any more on number 2?
No, I don't have a lot to say on number 2, Nate.
So I want to intro
Who does
number 3.
2 work for?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah.
You tell that turd who's boss. I want to intro number 3 because I feel like this is low-key Andy's favorite episode. What if the world lost its mightiest heroes? Nick Fury struggles to launch the Avengers when candidates are targeted by a serial killer. So secretly, I think Andy's in the background like, yes, fucking kill them all. Did you submit the script for this, Andy? Come on, come clean.
You're not wrong.
No, I knew it, Judas.
Yeah. No. My script was Superman flying through Marvel Studios and just destroying everything.
Nice, right on.
Yeah, and then him grabbing Favreau and saying, "Direct a DC movie."
Right.
So,
oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow, we got dark.
Right. Sorry.
That's okay. That's why the Suicide Squad is hunting Superman in the next.
Yeah, apparently so.
That's hilarious.
No, this was another cool episode. In the vein of sort of who done it and whatnot, and then taking us back to those moments where we meet these Avengers for the first time, but obviously something is taking them back, right? Something is killing them off, which is crazy. Yeah, and I didn't. And again, I was trying to put it together, and then finally, I think it was when Hulk died. It was like, oh, I get it now.
Yeah.
It's either got to be Ant-Man or someone in the tiny suit. And then
I thought Ant-Man, like the Scott Lang version of Ant-Man. I wasn't thinking old Ant-Man.
Yeah. Oh God, how horrifying does animated Michael Douglas look?
Oh my God. Like perfectly horrifying.
Yeah.
Especially in the Yellow Jacket suit. That thing was brutal.
Yeah. But the underlying exclamation mark on this episode was the Lake Bell voiced Black Widow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Addie was asking who that was in the trailer or in the credits. And
yeah.
I went, oh, you wouldn't know, but Dad's a fan.
Right.
So
yeah. Yeah. But I mean it makes sense. She has like that smoky Scarlett Johansson voice.
Right. For sure.
So it makes a lot of sense that they would have gotten her for this. So
yeah, and what a great premise. I mean, they basically open up right in Iron Man 2, right? Where Tony's sitting in the donut down in downtown LA, nursing a hangover, and and they're trying to give him the shot to help with his poisoning. Not electrum. I forget exactly what the name of the alloy he has to use to try and keep his arc reactor going, but it's poisoning him. So she gives him the shot, but instead of it helping, he dies. He basically just falls on the floor of the diner.
Yeah,
and that's victim number one of several. So it's him, and then there's I love this sequence with Thor out in the desert in New Mexico.
Right. Yeah,
and
Clark his hair really is pretty.
Exactly.
I know, that was so good.
Agent Coulson's looking over. He's like, he's like 6'5". We got an intruder. God, his hair is wonderful, or something like that. Yeah. And then Hawkeye confirms it later. He's like, he does have great hair.
Yeah.
And so then he gets basically shot down in that whole sequence of trying to reclaim his hammer, accidentally, quote unquote.
Yep.
And then we get is it the Hulk after that? Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's right back into the Incredible Hulk movie when they're on campus, and Black Widow's trying to talk with what's her name, Betty Ross, right?
Yep, Betty Ross.
Dr. Betty Ross, to try and figure out where Bruce Banner is. They figure it out. There's so many like hidden gems in that one because there's like a pizza delivery outfit that was in the original movie. That was a costume that Ed Norton wore as Bruce Banner, but the name of the pizza place is Stanley's Pizza. It's also an homage to Stan Lee. So it's like there's a bunch of great Easter eggs in that one. Yeah. And then finally, it's a great whodunit. And then finally, Black Widow figures it out, yells into the phone as she's getting her butt kicked, and then Fury takes it the rest of the way, kind of thing. The whole subplot with Loki, I thought was great. Joe, what did you
Loki
think about
goodness.
Right? Like,
I am always here for Loki.
That's like Emperor Loki too. He's not messing around.
And then we get lots of Lokis. A plethora of Lokis.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, so no, this I did like how they sort of tied it back into the first Avengers movie where sort of Loki was trying to take over, and because the Avengers aren't there, he gets to take over now, and it's his thing. So my weird like sort of takeaway with this episode was one of the final scenes where so the Avengers never necessarily became who they were. Like they didn't know who Thor was until Loki came down and explained that's my brother from Asgard. Right?
Yeah.
Yet, okay, at the end, he's in his nice little casket with the hammer on it, right? Like he was some big hero, yet he was some dude they didn't even know.
Yeah, I think it was symbolic. And they knew him. He was on their list to recruit, according to the... You're right,
I must have missed...
You're right.
I must have missed that.
Well, if he was on their list to recruit, then they would have known who he was when they saw him. It wouldn't be like, who is this dude with the beautiful hair? They'd be like, oh shit, Thor's here.
That's 100%. I think you're right. I think they probably just folded him in with the other people they were looking at potentially, and then they're like, okay, we'll just throw a hammer on it. And obviously they're not going to bury him in a casket because he's going to go back to Asgard kind of thing. But that's just all symbology.
Yeah. They just wanted to have that shot of all the caskets.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right. and like I said, that was the one weird thing for me is that, they never became the Avengers. They never became the heroes that we know them to be. So why are they getting this like super... like super treatment at the end with their little logos on when they never, like half of them never necessarily materialized, and that was the weird sort of like takeaway for me from this episode was like, all right. I don't get me wrong. I really like this episode because I thought it was just so different from anything that we've ever seen.
No kidding, right?
In Marvel, like in this,
what an opening.
Yeah,
right. Man
no,
dead.
totally.
Like, what?
Yeah. So I really enjoyed this story and this aspect of it. But yeah, that one little scene was enough to sort of make me go, right.
Yeah.
So anywho. Yeah. Yeah.
I liked it a lot. So, the casual nature of Loki's takeover at the end was great too.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll stay for a while. And then it's the UN and Asgardians around the world, goose stepping.
Right. Yeah, and that part of it I made the most sense to me too. It's like, oh yeah, he could just walk in now and, and like, yep, this is my realm. I got it.
Loki finally wins.
Well, we know what Joe's secret fantasy is with Loki multiplying himself everywhere.
Oh my goodness! I
don't think this was ever in question, but confirmed. You heard it here first on.
Yeah. Oh geez, so good.
Yeah. And next we have my second Marvel boyfriend.
Yeah,
right. Episode 4 is What If Doctor Strange Lost His Heart Instead of His Hands? A grief-stricken Doctor Strange uses the Eye of Agamotto in a dangerous effort to change the past. Yeah,
this episode hurt.
Oh God, it was so emotional.
Bad.
Right? Oh my God.
Between this and WandaVision, I'm like, are you guys trying to kill me?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Did you guys ever see The Time Machine?
Oh yeah, no, this was totally that. Totally that. Yeah.
Trying to go back in time over and over to change shit and then breaking everything basically, like to save the woman he loves. Like, it was great.
Rough.
Yeah, so the idea of him losing his heart instead of his hands is the change is that Christine Palmer decides to go with him to the benefit instead of blowing him off like she does in the movie. And then that sets whatever in motion. And now there's this fixed point in time where she has to die. And on the way to the benefit, she does. Over and over.
Yeah, really.
God. There was a point, though, it was kind of funny when they were doing like the constant like showing all the different ways that she ends up dying. Mm-hmm. There's an episode of Supernatural where that happens to Dean. He dies like constantly, and there's nothing that Sam can do to change it. And it was totally like the same damn thing. I'm like, I've seen this before.
Right on.
Yeah,
but
no, I definitely got the Time Machine vibe when that whole sequence hit. Yeah. But then I loved the library sequence. I thought that was neat, where he essentially sort of freezes himself in time.
Yeah, for centuries. Holy shit.
Yeah, for centuries, and then starts absorbing. It starts absorbing evil lawn gnomes.
Oh my God! So apparently the gnomes are canon in the MCU, or not the MCU, in the Marvel universe. I had no idea.
Okay.
Gnomes are actually a thing. My favorite, second favorite thing was when the variant Doctor Strange came out, and it was a cockroach with the cape on.
Yep.
So I don't think anybody else caught that, but they're like bugs. But he steals the cock. Why would the cockroach have a cloak of levitation unless it was a variant of Doctor Strange?
Yeah,
it had to be, right? So he's like, nice cloak, takes it, and like, I draw the line at bugs, and dismisses the critter. Oh, God. Yeah, super cool. So the whole premise is he's studying the mystic arts now to try and bring back the love of his life instead of trying to get his hands back. And he doesn't get any of the humility that he goes through on that mission without having his hands. So I think this really ties directly into what we're going to see in the next Spider-Man No Way Home movie. A lot of people were talking about in that trailer that Doctor Strange is acting weird. He would never do stuff to break the multiverse or cast those weird spells or whatever. But this episode proves that he would 100% do that, or at least part of him would do that. So I like how they're setting it up, because obviously nothing's done by accident in the whole MCU. It's ridiculous.
So, and this is my question: Are they going to reference what if stuff in future movies and stuff like that?
So I've heard there's live action Captain Carter happening. So if that's the case, then I wouldn't be surprised, because it's all a multiverse. This is all canon happening in different universes at this point.
Now, wasn't she already Captain Carter and that Loki, that little clip scene right there? No,
well, she's Captain Carter, the person who founded S.H.I.E.L.D., but she's not the super soldier.
She wasn't in. Okay,
Captain
I thought
Carter.
For some reason I thought she was in the getup.
No, she was in her blue dress from the show.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Yeah, all right. No, and that would have been before the multiverse broke too. So.
Oh, you're right. You're not wrong. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks. You said I was right 2 different ways in 2 seconds. I love it. I'm gonna record that shit.
Hold on, wait, Nate. Hold on. I'm gonna say it again. You were right.
I love this episode. The just jumping to the end real quick, the sorcerer on sorcerer battle is fucking great. The visuals of the different spells they're casting back and forth. There's actually we were talking about the Matrix earlier today in our chat. There's about a 10-second window where there's super Matrixy music happening, like the like droning music and then silence and then droning kind of stuff, just like it is in the Matrix fight scenes. It happens in the beginning of that wizard fight. So go back and watch it with that ear, and you'll totally catch it. But I thought of you when I was watching it today. I really hope they do that kind of animation in Multiverse of Madness, the next Doctor Strange movie, because there's going to be, every sorcerer is going to be in that basically, or at least the main ones. So it'll be cool to see all of that, like they did with Endgame.
It would be kind of neat Infinity too if War. If they started the movie with that animation and then sort of transferred it to live action, like the animation slate, and then transferred it to live action with the same sort of thing. That way, it sort of. Oh God, I hate saying ties the room together, but I love saying ties the room together.
You do. We're gonna get you a shirt. This shirt really ties the room together.
Seriously, yeah.
I really like the whole montage of him absorbing all the different critters too. Mm-hmm. There's a whole breakdown.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
What's your buddy that does Emergency Awesome? What's his name?
Charlie.
He does a really good breakdown of the episode where he actually identifies every creature that's coming through. Oh,
cool.
I've never seen nobody else that I've seen so far has said variant Doctor Strange. I'm sticking with that. There's no other reason he'd have the cloak. But beyond that, he's talking about like the two-headed ram, and which is like Ares or whatever. And then what else? There's a dragon, and then a couple different serpents, and then like the big bat creature. And he's basically naming off like what these things could be in the MCU or what they were referring to. Like there's Norse mythology in there. There's all kinds of other things.
That's cool.
Yeah, that was a really cool sequence too. I enjoyed the way that they reanimated Doctor Strange to have the likeness of the critters. Like he absorbs the dragon and he looks up and he's got like the features of it. And then the crazy Phantom of the Opera reveal at the end when he finally gets enough power to restore Christine. Funny enough, Christine is the name of the lady in the Phantom of the Opera. He's like this completely misshapen demon of whatever when he finally gets her back, and then ends up destroying his universe, kind of thing. So sorry, I can't stop talking. These shows are fucking amazing.
No, it was cool, and then I did like how the ancient one was the one to sort of screw it all up and set it all up, and I did like that part of it.
I like the twist that she split him in half. Because you don't find that out until later when that guy, the librarian, is Cagliostro. The name that he gives Doctor Strange is one of his other Cagliostro's other names in the Marvel.
Oh,
universe.
Okay.
So that's what everyone online was saying.
Yeah.
But Joe, this is your boyfriend. Talk about it. You're enjoying all the tuxedo scenes in the Lambo?
It was a little jarring though to see him animated. I was like, that's kind of creepy.
Yeah. His voice work was amazing.
Oh my gosh, so good.
I'm kind of shocked at how well he does an American accent.
Yeah. And when he's watching his whole heart break, I'm like, oh god, it hurts so much. But one of the fun parts was the cloak fight.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was
so
R.I.P. Cloak of Levitation too, right?
Right.
That thing got ripped up. Wow. That was really cool.
Yeah.
Something I just realized that all four of these episodes are like just different types of movies, basically. So the first one's kind of adventure with Captain Carter. T'Challa Star-Lord is a heist movie, basically, at the end, right? With the whole trying to steal the seeds.
Yeah.
And then the whodunit for episode 3, and then number 4 is kind of like horror-ish, or, this is what happens when you go off you do the bad thing to get your way kind of thing. The Pandora's Box kind of movie, if you will. And then episode 5 is zombies, right? So shit, that's full on horror coming up.
Yeah.
Nice.
There's one of those guys that you followed, Andy, for us on the Rum Regret Twitter. I think it's called That Superhero Thing.
Yes.
two Brits and are fucking great. I've been listening to their podcast and interacting with them on Twitter under my Avid Gamer tag, which I should probably be doing under Rum Regret, just so we get our name out there better. But they called me out in their last show for one of the comments that I left them. It was really cool.
Oh, that's cool.
But nice.
Yeah, but they're great. And some of the stuff they've been talking about lately about how all of these things intertwined, really kind of just one-off, like the whole Phantom of the Opera thing. I got that from them. That was a straight ripoff from them.
Nice.
But they have some great insight, and it's really fun. So if you guys have a chance to listen podcast, it's that. Let me double check.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it's That Superhero Thing.
I think
That superhero thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That being said, Lauren from Hop Geek News, she responded to my tweet, sort of late tweet in the game, saying that she liked the T'Challa Black Panther episode the most. But she really liked seeing.
I think that's the best one, right?
Yeah, she liked seeing the Phase 1 episode with all the callbacks though as well. So
for sure.
Yeah.
If we're gonna rank these, I think we already did that, but I think it's got to be like T'Challa. So 2, 4, 3, 1, like in descending order. Is that what we're thinking?
That's fair.
T'Challa.
No, I think that's fair.
Doctor Strange, the killing of the Avengers, and then Captain Carter.
Yeah, Captain Carter.
I think Captain Carter would be higher if it didn't have those pacing issues. Honestly.
Yeah, I think and we both mentioned it. Just needed just a little more explainer.
Yeah.
To really send it to the right level. So
yeah, even just 5 more minutes, I think probably would have solved it.
Yeah. So are we getting 2 more episodes?
I want to say it's 8 for this season.
Oh, eight episodes. So we get 4. Okay.
I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the midway, mid-season review that we're doing.
Okay, because we're getting zombies. We're getting what if Spider-Man was Sorcerer Supreme, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then what else?
There's an Ultron one, which is probably the end.
Right.
It's like, what if the Ultron got the Infinity Stones, because he's supposed to be the big bad kind of thing.
Right. Yeah.
And then there's one in between that, so I'm pretty sure there's 4. Or I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Yeah.
I don't think.
Cool.
Yeah, there's no other information here about how many, but I'm almost 100% that there's 8.
Okay. Cool.
I'm excited. What do you guys think is going to happen in the zombie episode? I want Hugh Jackman's Van Helsing to show up. That'd be hilarious.
Right. Yeah, that would be amazing. No, you know what? I know because there was a whole series on Marvel Zombies, right?
Yeah.
Was there a whole comic book series on it?
There was. Yeah, I didn't read any of it, but it looked really cool.
Neither did I. I just want to kind of soak it in and see. So I'm excited. Like I said, they've done really, really good so far. So yeah, I'm just excited to watch it. So
is it going to be like the Avengers hunting zombies, or do you think the Avengers are going to become zombies?
No, it's zombie Avengers.
Yeah, so Captain America, Iron Man are the ones that they've teased so far as the zombies. So yeah, and I don't. I've only seen.
Go ahead.
They released a teaser for it today.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, they showed Captain America like in the tattered suit, like full on like tilted jaw zombie, like there it is. Yeah.
Oh man.
So,
and then Hawkeye also.
Oh yeah.
Well, it would be really cool. Okay, so here, float a theory real quick. So all of the Avengers that died for the Collector to get his collection of weapons, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then you've got Doctor Strange trying to resurrect people over and over and over and over and over. Maybe that his breaking all of these other universes, trying to save Christine, maybe that's what causes the zombie apocalypse.
That could be cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It really ties the room together.
Hey! Yeah, that's a callback, ladies and gentlemen.
A ham-fisted callback.
You did. You forced it in there like a kitten from my side.
Oh. Too soon, Nate. Too soon, man. Soon.
Hey, fuck you. It's your fault I watched the damn thing.
Everybody needs a little side kitten in their life.
Yeah, come on.
Right? Jeez. Yep. God, it's been years since I've had any side kitten.
Oh, guys, we really need to hashtag get Nate a side kitten.
Oh, God.
Good stuff. Oh, man. Yeah, what else, guys? Joe, what are your thoughts on future eps?
I want to see the zombie one, and shoot, what if?
Yeah,
that's tomorrow too. Shit,
that is Tuesday? Tomorrow. Yeah,
nice.
Zombies.
It's gonna be a good day.
It is.
Yeah.
From now on, we're gonna call Wednesday Ice Cube because it's gonna be a good day.
Oh my goodness! All right. Well,
new Matrix coming out. Woo!
God, that looks so cool. That was a great website. Yeah.
Yep.
That was cool. At first I forgot which pill to take. Like crap! What pill do I take? If I take one, do I not get to see the other one?
If you knew what was going to happen, you would have told him to take that red pill and shove it up his ass.
You're thinking the same thing I am. Why didn't I take the blue pill?
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. I can't wait to see it. I mean, just watching the little teaser, it reminded me how much I loved those movies. So I'm stoked.
That first one was friggin' life-changing for me.
Yeah, and that and it's funny too that because you in our little chat today said you had the soundtrack rolling, but yeah, dude, that Rage Against the Machine song at the end, "Wake Up," is whenever I hear it. Whenever I hear it, I always think of The Matrix.
Mm-hmm.
100%.
Yeah. So nice. All right. What do you guys think of Marvel's What If? Let us know in the comments. You can find us on Facebook at the Rum Regret Podcast. You can also find us on Twitter at rum_regret. We are slowly approaching 900 followers on Twitter.
What?
Crazy.
The march to 1,000 begins now.
That's right. Joe, where can they find you on the socials?
Joe Chickadee on the socials or joechickadee.com.
Yeah. Nate, where can they find you?
Avid Gamer, AV1D Gamer on all the socials and your gaming platforms of choice. Come shoot some aliens with Andy and I. It's been super fun.
That's right. Yeah.
Aliens Fire.
Yeah. You can find me at Crazy Drake on Facebook, at Andrew Drake on Twitter. And until the next time, we have spoken.
Classic Star-Lord. You messed it up.